Hello, everyone. Hope you're doing well. It is already the day after Christmas, and I am down here in Colombia. We are visiting family. I put another video about this on the other channel, which I was going to put on this channel, and I never did because it's been some technical difficulties. So I just thought I'd go ahead and make a late Merry Christmas video to you guys here, talk about a few things, and yeah, we'll just have a little chat and then go on about our day, I guess. So anyways, yes, as I was saying, me and my wife are down here in Colombia visiting family. Apologize for the noise, because there's this nice little courtyard. Not a bad place to do a video or whatever. Nobody really comes back here too much, but the cars go by here, so we'll just have to tolerate that, I suppose. So today I wanted to talk about taking the breath before the plunge. Kind of like when you take a breath before you jump into the deep end of a pool off a diving board. And that's kind of where I'm at right now with this. We're doing the holidays, visiting family, all this stuff. Just kind of trying to unwind, de-stress a bit before the big plunge. And it's hard because I'm trying not to think about all the things before going to Arkansas and all that. So how does this all tie into faith and all of that? Well, I was thinking about that, and I thought, well, it's the correlation I came up with was, how often in life is it very much like when the apostles were going across the sea and the storm came, and they wake up, they say Jesus walking on the water, and Peter wants to walk out to him, and of course Jesus says, basically, Jesus wants him to keep his eyes on him, walk out across that water, that unknown, and to just keep focused on Christ. And of course, Peter makes it part of the way, takes his eyes off Christ and sinks, and Christ pulls him out, of course. But that's it's kind of a good story that correlates with where I'm at right now. I feel like I'm definitely, these changes and stuff, I do feel God in it. I feel but it's not laid out in a perfect way where I can see each step, where I can, I've done the planning I can, I've done the praying I can for this move to Arkansas, and I've done the preparations I can, and then there just comes a point where you're just going to do it or not. And that's basically where it's at. I'll be back in the very first part of January, and that's just going to be to load things up in Northern California and start making the trek across the country, taking the southern route, because I'm assuming there's going to be weather. Speaking of weather, there is definitely a lot going on in Northern California right now. The weather was great up until the time I left, about the middle of December, and then it just cut loose. I've been watching some stuff on Facebook and whatnot, and it's like, what is going on up there? And it's so weird. Last year it was kind of similar. It was pretty decent. We came down here last year for the holiday season as well, Christmas and all that, and it cut loose like crazy last year too, in a different way. We had the fires in LA. LA was burning down, and I'm just like, what what is it? I could go on about the times I've come down here. Me and my wife have come down here, and then crazy stuff happens. There was one summer there was a fire. I was down here, and there was a all of a sudden the fire lit up and almost burned up the family property with, yeah, anyway, it just crazy. So yeah, hopefully that's died down by the time I get back and I could actually get stuff loaded up. The plan is I have a dump trailer that I bought specifically to start the tree service and all that in Arkansas. That's one piece of the puzzle, and so I bought it here so I could load it up, take it out across country and on all that. So yeah, that's where I'm at. I'm just in that point where it's the take a breath before the plunge into the deep end of the pool. Just have faith that it'll work out. You know, I've done the best I can from a human perspective, given it the prayer, giving it the thought, giving it the planning and everything that I could to make it as good as I could. And so we shall see how it all goes to actually implement all that stuff and make the big move. You know, I feel good about it. I think I feel better about it the closer I get, interestingly enough. You know, there's, I believe, more stress and anxiety earlier in the earlier planning stages, and now that things are more solidified and a kind of a clearer path forward in many ways, yeah, I'm feeling more. It's not that there isn't, you know, anxiety or fear in there. You know, I wish I could just say, oh yeah, you know, there's no stress. I could just jump into the unknown, you know, eyes wide open, faith, you know, strong faith, no fear whatsoever. But that's just not the case. I'm human. I feel the fear, and I do it anyway. That's kind of what you got to do sometimes. Just feel the fear and you do it anyway. And that's where things are at. But along with that, of course, is the excitement, the anticipation, the whole reason for doing all this. It's to have a better life for us out of California, better quality of life, where we can be just building a business and doing those things, getting out of the timber industry. Me as a timber faller not being in that anymore, because, you know, I'm getting older, along with the fact that my job is being phased out in many ways, and it's just getting harder and harder in many ways. There's just so many reasons to do this. I'll put it that way. So many reasons. Anyway, I know I'm kind of rambling, but I just wanted to get on here, talk about a few things, talk about just how, in that personal sense, I'm going through that right now. I love my personal walk across the water moment, keeping my eyes focused on Christ as best I can, and just moving forward with what I feel is the right direction for us. Or what I believe is the right direction for us. So that's where things are at right now, guys. I'll go ahead and post more videos as we go along, of course. And I hope you guys are all doing well. I hope you had a good Christmas. I hope, you know, just your family life and everything else is well. And if it's not, then I know there's some of you I can think of right off the top of my head, people I know. I don't know if you watch they're watching the channel or not, but who are not having good family times or going through family turbulence and things like that. And so, that's the worst during the holidays, honestly. And I remember going through that, where when things aren't going good in your direct circle, the holidays are a nightmare, because that's when everybody else seems to be celebrating and happy, and you're in a miserable situation. So if you're in that situation, I've been there before. I empathize, and all I can say is that it's just kind of a slog through. Put your head down. Put your, well, keep your eyes on Christ. Try to stay away from any of the things that we tend to fall into, like drinking too much and all that, to deal with those things. And maybe, focus more on prayer, exercise, that type of stuff, journaling. Not to say that will get a person through that, like, necessarily, but it will help you. It'll help you get through it in a healthy way. So, all right. I know I'm rambling today, but I kind of had a lot that I wanted to throw out there. So God bless you guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks for being part of the channel. And a late Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. All right. I will stop talking now, and I am going to move on with the day.